Okay, so we'll continue our lessons on decimal operation, and now we'll be looking into decimal operations concerning division and multiplication. Like I said before, you start with the sensorial level where you work with your value mats, your cards, and your set of beads in 45 quantities. Remember, these beads are represented then with pictures. So you have your bead bank and you have your value cards spread out. Now, and that's for sensorial level, that's what you need, your numbers spread out. Now for multiplication, depending on how many times you're multiplying, like now where we want to do a sum, where we're multiplying this 1122 by 2. So we'd have two sets of small cards spread out and one set of large cards. Why? Because we need to get this value from two different sets of small cards, while our answer will come from the one set of large cards. If we were multiplying this by 3, we would have this spread out in 3 parts, that you have the values from 1 to 9, 10 to 20, 10 to 90, and so on, in 3 sets. So if we were multiplying by 4, you separate them by 4 sets, 5 sets, and so on and so forth. But your large cards would just be 1 set, because that's where your answers are coming from. So this is what we'll be working with. But if we were doing it at recording, we wouldn't need these cards nor spreading out. We just have what we call the individual sum cards. This is what the individual sum card looks like for multiplication. So you just hand it over to the child, and the child looks at the values. What is it multiplied by 2? So he brings out the quantities and places on the mat according to how many times it's multiplied. Like the second sum here says 4 times this value. So he would spread out the first of the same value, second of the same value, third and fourth before he begins to add. The last one says 2, so it's just 2 sets. While for division, this is what the division card, the multiplication, this is where you record the answer at the end. While for division, we actually use the long division method in Montessori. So if you are dividing, you would need a number of trays according to the divisor. So if we're dividing by 2, we have 2 trays, just like we did in subtraction, we have 2 trays where we divide into. If we are dividing by 3, we have 3 trays where we're dividing into. If we are dividing by 4, we have 4 trays where we're dividing into. So that's just the difference. So if you're using the sum card, you would not need these value cards. But it's always better to start with the value cards so the children can appreciate it, the movement, because Montessori encourages movement in her class. So you move, the child moves, goes, gets what he needs and all that, and builds it before he goes into the abstract, which is a little more complicated. Okay, so let's go into the lesson. So we said we are multiplying this by 2. So that means we're going to get this value first of all. So it says 2 tens, 2 units first. 200, 100, and 1000. And we're supposed to multiply this by 2, so which means we're going to go get this value from our set of cards and place it here. So you see it's identical because we are multiplying by 2. If I was multiplying by 3, I'll move this up and set up another here so I can display its value. So let's do the same thing here. So these actually make it easier for you rather than getting large, because this you have to have 45 of each so you can have enough of them to make up a bank so that the child doesn't run out of material when calculating. Alright, so I explained to the child that multiplication means repeated addition of the same number. So if we're multiplying this by 2, which means we're adding this repeatedly twice, that's why it's multiplied by 2. So it's just repeated addition. And the same way we did addition, we just go ahead and do this. So we count down 1 unit, 2 units, 3 units, 4 units. So we have 4 units. So we go to the large number cards and get the value for 4 and place it down there. So we add the next one. 1 10, 2 10s, 3 10s, 4 10s. We go and get the large value cards for 4 10s. We add the next 100, 200. We go for the large value cards and get the number 200. We add 1000, 2000, and we go for the large value cards and have 2000. So our answer, we merge the cards to form our answer, and our answer is 1122 multiplied by 2 gives us 2244. That's it. So let's quickly do that of changing. This was multiplication without changing. Now we'll do multiplication with changing. So we'll be fast with it. So we have enough time to see if we can go also into the division in the same video. So let's say we change the value for units to 6. So we say 1126 multiplied by 2. Like I said before, in contemporary mathematics, it's called renaming. But in Montessori, it's called changing, because we go to the big bank and change the value. So let's represent this. So this is 6. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. And the next is 2 tenths. So the children would actually help me arrange this, because that's where the fun is. Because after now, I just give them sums and they do it themselves. So they get used to it, because the secret of success is in repeated practice. Okay. 2 tenths. 100 and 1000. So let's go, let's add. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I missed one. It's actually 6 here. I think I missed one. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And remember, 10 tenths, 10 units make a 10 big bar. So we go to the bank, drop this, and pick up 1 10 big bar and place it at the top. Then we count what's left. So we have 1, 2 left. So we go for the large number card 2. We place it here. So we add the next 1 10, 2 10, 3 10s, 4 10s, 5 10s. So large number card 5 10s. 100, 200, large number card 200, 1000, 2000, large number card 2000. So we put our values together and read our sum. So 1126 times 2 gives us 2252. So that's multiplication with changing. So I'll quickly go into division. Now so let's just restore these materials and I'll give a sum, then we can interpret them and we'll